Union Budget 2024 will be presented in the second half of July. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has chaired the pre-budget consultation meetings with experts who table their expectations from the budget this year. The President of India, Dropadi Murmu, has said that the budget will make historic economic policies and social reforms. This is Modi government's first budget in their third term. In the past, Modi government has presented 9 full budgets and 2 interim budgets. Let's take a look at the past full budgets of Modi government and what were the key reforms made.
I propose to increase the personal income tax exemption limit by rupees 50,000, that is from rupees 2 lakhs to rupees 2.5 lakhs.
2014 was the first year where then Finance Minister Arun Jaitley presented the budget. During the 2014 budget, annual limit for investments under Section 80C was increased from 1 lakh rupees to 1.5 lakh rupees per annum, which means taxpayers could claim tax exemption of 1.5 lakh rupees every year on PPFs, Senior Citizen Savings Scheme, ELSS and more.
The major slippage in the last decade has been on the infrastructure front. Our infrastructure does not match our growth ambitions. There is a pressing need to increase public investment.
In 2015, major infrastructure changes were made and infrastructure was made central to the roadmap for growth. Infrastructure investments were raised by 70,000 crore rupees.
Agriculture and farmers' welfare with a focus on doubling farmers' income in 5 years.
In 2016, Bharat was the top priority. Rural economy was the key agenda and allocation for agriculture and farmers' welfare was doubled. The focus was on developing income security for farmers and double their income by 2022.
Madam Speaker, the thrust of my tax proposal in this budget is to stimulate growth, relief to the middle class, affordable housing, curb black money, promote digital economy, bring transparency in political funding, and simplification of tax administration.
2017 was a landmark budget. Major changes were made in this budget. First, the date of presenting the budget was changed from February 28 to February 1. This, Jaitley said, would help the government with more time to implement changes in the budget and the policies. This was also the first budget that ended the 92-year-old colonial practice of presenting the railway budget separately. This time, railway budget was merged with the union budget. In this budget, the electoral bond scheme was also introduced. Electoral bonds are donations made by private companies or individuals to political parties, and these are then used in funding election campaigns. GST was also launched in the budget to consolidate tax laws under one system. In 6 years of announcing GST, the government has bought 1,300 goods and 500 services under the GST with tax slabs of 5%, 12%, 13% and 28%. The aim was to reduce fraud and was built on the lines of one nation, one tax.
हमारे दल के घोषणा पत्र में ये संकल्प है कि कृषि को लाभदायी बनाने के लिए किसान भाइयों को उनकी लागत, उत्पादन की लागत से कम 50% से अधिक अर्थात लागत से 1.5 गुना दाम मिले.
2019 had 2 budgets, the interim budget presented by Piyush Goyal and the full budget presented by Nirmala Sitharaman. In the interim budget, the PM Kisan scheme was introduced through which 6,000 rupees was given to farmers in 3 installments every year. The standard deduction for salaried was also increased from 40,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees. The gratuity limit was also hiked from 10 lakh rupees to 20 lakh rupees.
Speaker, sir, my tax proposals will aim to stimulate growth, incentivize affordable housing, and encourage startups by releasing the entrepreneurial spirit. It will also be geared towards promoting digital economy. I aim to simplify tax administration and bring greater transparency.
During the full budget in 2019, Nirmala Sitharaman replaced the leather briefcase with the Bahi Khata. In the full budget, surcharge on tax for those earning above 2 crore rupees per annum was proposed. 99.3% companies were bought under 25% corporate tax slab rate.
In the new tax regime, sir, substantial tax benefit will accrue to a taxpayer depending upon the exemptions and deductions claimed by him.
In 2020, Nirmala Sitharaman presented the longest budget speech till date. This was the year when the new tax regime was introduced.
The proposals in Part A will further strengthen the sankalp of nation first, doubling farmers' income, strong infrastructure, healthy India, good governance, opportunities for youth, education for all, women empowerment, and inclusive development, among others.
In 2021, Nirmala Sitharaman presented the first digital budget. This was when the Bahi Khata was replaced by the tablet. This was also one of the most significant budgets because it was right after the COVID-19 pandemic. Capital expenditure was also increased in this budget, and Sitharaman announced an outlay of 1.97 lakh crore rupees for the PLI schemes for 13 key sectors to boost the economy and the Make in India initiative. The outlay for the health sector was increased by 137%.
I propose to provide that any income from transfer of any virtual digital asset shall be taxed at the rate of 30%. In 2022, infrastructure and digitalization was in focus to boost growth. Capex was also increased by 35.4%. 30% tax was imposed on income from digital assets like cryptocurrencies in this budget. I propose to increase the rebate limit to 7 lakh in the new tax regime. Thus, persons in the new tax regime with income up to 7 lakhs will not have to pay any tax at all.
2023 was the first budget of Amrit Kal, and well, many tax changes were made, especially under the new tax regime. These are the tax slabs for the new tax regime. This means that people opting for new tax regime were given tax exemptions for up to 7 lakh annual income.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.